Hello. All right, before we begin, let's thank our sponsors. Very important. Please support these people too, because they support us and they're good people. Like Inspect All Pest Services, not only providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control, but Inspect All, you know what they do? Insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and a ton of other home services. They're in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. InspectAllServices.com, also our sponsor for Livin Rent Free. The Mad Dog, Manny Aurora. You got some criminal issues going on. Criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. The AuroraLawFirm.com, based out of Georgia, but litigates all over the United States. This is a guy Brandon has on speed dial. Not only for him, but his friends. You should probably too, if you're like Brandon. If you got a question for the Mad Dog, get it in for me for his next visit, which will probably be next week. Ridgeline Counseling, that is Dr. David Markwell. He is without a doubt the best in the business. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 locations in Georgia, but can do virtual sessions anywhere you're at. Set up an appointment. You can email him directly, ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com, or go to markwelltherapy.com. Dr. David Markwell is the sweetest, smartest man I know. FBC Insurance, perfect for new homeowners, or if you're just looking to shop your current insurance policies. Multi-policy, bundle discounts, shop over 35 A-rated companies. Just send somebody over to FBC Insurance the other day. Help you out, whether it's for your house, flood, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or just a personal policy. 888-308-1841, or you can email info@fbcinsuranceservices.com, or you can get a quote online. Make things real easy. fbcinsuranceservices.com. Looking to buy or sell a house in Florida or Georgia? You can have my wife. She's your guy. That's Rachel Guy. I am RachelGuy@gmail.com. She is the best and the prettiest in the business. That is my opinion, and it means something, damn it. Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. Every customer gets an upgraded warranty, free monitoring, and a service contract. A+ rating with the BB&B. Never lose power if you got yourself a Generac generator from Alternate Power Solutions. PoweringGeorgia.com, 770-853-7571. Get $500 off your entire installation. Just got to use the promo code Bailey. That would be me. JHM Land Solutions, family owned and operated grading, land clearing, mulching, and tree company. They're servicing Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. No job too big, no job too small. They'll take care of it either way and treat you just the same. JHM Land Solutions, 770-274-9120. In dumb man language, all that crap in your backyard, you want it moved? Call JHM Land Solutions. Jayco Contracting, that is our friend, gutter and roofing specialist, Cliff Bratcher. 770-316-3876. He's such a good dude, man. A lot of you met him at Podcast and Pours 3. He's just trying to make a living. He's really good at it, too. They are licensed and insured roofing and gutter specialists covering all of Georgia. Platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, the creator of Pink Panther. Getting free gutter guards with the purchase of a roof. That's cool. Satisfaction guaranteed, commercial and residential. JaycoContracting.com. Again, Cliff Bratcher, 770-316-3876. You hung out with Cliff a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, he was cool, dude. I talked to him. Cool guy.
He was just happy to be there.
Yeah, he was.
And then a live Ozone Therapy Spa. This is our grand opening week. Full disclosure, me and Rach own it. Not that I really need to tell you that, but we are Central Florida's first and only Ozone Therapy Spa. What is that? I've explained it before, but I've learned that I cannot do it in 10 words or less. I suggest you go to liveozonetherapyspa.com and read up on it. We administer ozone through what is called a Hocket sauna. It is the most non-invasive way to do it. And it's very relaxing, and anything from COVID to cancer to fatigue to herpes. This thing is a miracle worker. It really is. I mean, there's case studies and actual people that we know that have been in those situations. So it's really, really cool. I'll actually talk a little bit more about it here in a second. So if you are in the Central Florida area, we're in Altamont Springs off Maitland Avenue. You can book an appointment, a live Ozone Therapy Spa. If you want any of our ozonated products that we offer, some of you got it at Podcast and Pours 3, like everybody's raving about the ozonated magnesium butter. You can get that on a live Ozone Therapy Spa. I suggest you do. If you want to sponsor the podcast and or radio show that airs on WJR in Orlando and Planet Radio in Jacksonville Saturday mornings, reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. Podcast in Force 4, same place. Get your tickets Saturday, December 14th. Saliva, special acoustic show with Distinct Grace opening up at Elixir downtown off Washington. We have hotels available thanks to the Hilton, VIP tables available. All that on thebaileyshow.com. Livin Rent free. You want a free month of rent thanks to Inspect All Pest Services? That also on thebaileyshow.com, and we'll get to a letter here in just a minute. Let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast, a guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
All right, there it is, episode 266 of the BS. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. There's the B-Man, Brandon Thrasher, still in his Halloween costume.
Yeah, hello. I ain't taking it off yet. It's kind of cold down here. It keeps me a little warm. I just got a t-shirt and gym shorts underneath this. My winter outfit.
I just got air conditioning. Like I put in a mini split into my studio because it was so hot. One thing that we did not take into consideration when Jeremiah fucking Sample built this place out a couple weeks ago, right? Or I don't know how long it's been now. But in our house, it's a one level house. And the only room that's on the second floor, split level, is my studio. Was one of the reasons why we bought the house, because we couldn't find anything else like it for my studio. So we closed it in. We put walls and 3x6 custom glass, and it's badass. It looks really cool. But it was hot. Florida's hot. And so there was no way for heat to get out. And so I was doing everything possible. I had different AC people come to the house, all these different ideas. And I had this AC company that I'd been working with through my warranty company come out to the house, and it was a kid. And stop me if I told you a story. Did I tell you the story?
Oh yeah, when he said it was like $8,000 or something crazy to get one in there.
$13,000.
Yeah, crazy.
$13,000. And then he tells me not to do it. He says he can't, he said he couldn't do it. But the funny thing about it is, when people, I guess I have a tendency to do this too. So I've been 30 years in this business. But 30 years is kind of bragging rights. And, you say that because you want people to know that you have experience. I get it. I say it, and I know probably say it too much for people that listen a lot. I get it. I know. I worked with a guy that did it more than me, so I know what it feels like. But this guy said, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I'm going to tell you, 5 years is not a long time. You don't say that and then give your expertise after 5 years, right? 5 years is it has to be at least 10 years or more, maybe even 20 years or more.
Yeah, I'd say 10. 10's a good number. I'm at that level now where I've been doing irrigation for 7 years on the side. So kind of crazy. So I'm almost in the 10-year mark. Yeah.
So you would say look, I've been doing this almost a decade, so I know, and it just sounds better, right?
Yeah. Decade sounds cool. I like using that word whenever I can.
Yeah. So almost a decade. It sounds cool. And this guy told me, he can't do it because of how the room is and the roof and the wires and the piping and all this stuff. And then he tries to tell me that my AC unit is not big enough. No, my AC unit's 4 tons, but I've got 2.5 tons worth of duct work. So he's like, but we can come in and change out all your duct work for $13,000, same price. I'm like, no, I don't have $13,000 to spend on this. So just randomly at the poker room, and this AC conversation comes up, so weird. The guy next to me is like, that's ridiculous. This is some Colombian young guy. He's like, that's ridiculous. He's like, I can do it for half that. I go, you own an AC? You work at AC? He's like, I own it. Like, really? Like, here's my number. Come on out. Come to find out, he's like 3rd generation of this huge corporation, like grandfather, father, him. And they own all these different businesses. I'm trying to get their air filtration business on the show. Like, they're kind of a thing. And he comes out, and he actually, with another guy, installed it. And it is the best work that I've ever seen. I don't even know the name of the AC company. I know the name of the corporation. It's called Sorrento Industries. I don't even know the name of the AC company, but he came out and he did it, and it looks great. And he charged me less than half of what the other guy wanted to charge me, which I still thought was a little too much, but I'm dying up here. Like every show up until these shows this week, I'm literally stuck to my chair. I'm sweating bullets.
Does it do heat and AC, or is it just AC?
Does it both? Does both.
Oh, okay, sweet. I'll make sure you didn't just get an AC one. Then a couple months, you're going to be like, it's cold in here. I got to get me a heater in here now. Spend another $5,000 on a heater.
Dude, I'm in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess they don't get too cold.
Down to 72. Ooh.
Freezing. Better put on your winter jacket.
Right. Now, it'll be good. So I feel great. Like, because I'm up here most of the week. I'm here, editing and doing stuff in social media. And now, I have to do social media for the spa. Or I help with it and until we get going and stuff. But, so I'm up in my studio Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the most part. And then I'll spend the rest of the week at Alive in the office. So it's, now I'm busy. I'm more busy now than I've ever been in my entire life of America. And this is our grand opening week. So this has been interesting so far, but I'll tell you, our soft opening week last week, where we did, VIPs and media people and stuff like that. I reached out to people that I know to come in, was extremely successful. And it started the wheel, right? You got to start somewhere, because our biggest challenge is educating the market. We are Central Florida's first and only ozone therapy spa that administers it through what's called a Hocket sauna. It looks like a bobsled meets space pod. You can see pictures of it on our website, ozonetherapyspa.com, or you just can Google Hocket, Hocatt. And you literally sit down in this thing, and that's how we administer ozone. I mean, that's how it is. But people are asking me, how does it work? What is it? Do you have any idea, Brandon, how this works when I say it?
You've explained it a couple times. It does something, putting oxygen or ozone in your blood. It's like breaking down the air molecules and injecting it in your butthole or something.
No, that's not it. We're not injecting buttholes. I promise you that.
Oh, damn.
But here's the challenge that I have. I believe, being in this industry for as long as I've been in it, you learn that you need to explain anything in 10 words or less. And that's the sell, because people you just lose their attention. You can't do that with this. It is virtually impossible. I'm trying, but you can't do it, because it is a medical procedure. You don't need a doctor. There's no injections or anything like that. It's literally a sauna. But you say ozone, and people don't know what ozone is. So I think I've gotten pretty decent at getting it at least under 60 seconds. When I explain to them what it is, I explain what the Hocket sauna is, and I tell them it looks like a bobsled meets a space pod. You take your clothes off, you put a robe on, you sit down, your head is above it, because you should never ingest ozone. And when oxygen is released, and then I'll stop and I'll say, do you know what a hyperbaric chamber is? You familiar with what a hyperbaric chamber is?
Is it like a pressurized chamber? Pressure?
No. So a hyperbaric chamber releases oxygen in your body, but they're huge. And I mean, they've been around for a while. Ozone therapy has been around for over 100 years, but a hyperbaric chamber releases oxygen, gives your body more oxygen. Say you're having sleeping problems, and it's because your body's not getting enough oxygen. So you can go in there and get more oxygen. That's great. But what it's doing, essentially, it's the equivalent of, my car is low on gas, I need more gas, but you're not fixing the engine. Ozone therapy fixes the engine and fills your tank up. So when you get into the Hocket sauna or chamber, or whatever you want to call it, oxygen is released and mixed with carbonic acid, which is the most natural way to open your pores. Okay. After that, small amounts, 2 to 3% of ozone, which is the O3 molecule, not O2 like oxygen, is released. And then while in there, it splits. When it splits, it multiplies, because it's not a it's a non-secure atom. Like when it splits up and multiplies. So when that goes into your body, when that's mixed and goes into your body, it gets to the mitochondrial level of the cells to rejuvenate them and repair them. Which is, look, this is all documented stuff by, the scientists and doctors and stuff. That's why I'm so into it, because it works. It's holistic therapy. There's no doubt about it. Insurance does not cover it. We do take HSA, but it's one of those things where, for some reason, we still live in a country where we don't want to provide maintenance for people in other avenues to, to fix them. We can get into conspiracy theories about population control if you want, and this and that. Testosterone, big pharma, right? Testosterone maintenance. It's healthy. It's safe. If done by a doctor and done properly, you get your blood checked. Insurance doesn't cover it. Some people have said on our social media that it does. I've never seen a place that it does. Never seen a place that it does. Why would you not want people to live healthier as they get older and maintain their health versus letting them get whatever it is and die, and then afterwards have crazy medical bills in your end days? It just doesn't make any sense. So,
well, you don't want, insurance companies don't like paying out to begin with, and they probably got some kind of deal with the big pharmaceutical companies, and they're like, we just got to keep selling these drugs. Got to keep selling drugs.
Yeah. As I dip, somebody's watching the video on YouTube. I'm sure they're like, oh, you're real healthy, Bailey. I know I've got my flaws, but this is good for people. We had, during the soft opening week, there was a friend of mine that actually helped me lead up to when we, opened the business in some ways. And he never got it. He never understood it. You say spa, you automatically, nails and hair and all this other stuff. And I explained it to him numerous times, sent him links numerous times, still didn't get it. And he calls me last week and he says, when can I come in? And I said, oh, okay, you can come in whenever you want. Do you know what you're coming in for? He goes, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. I said, so when did you learn what I've been telling you for 3 months? What's the trigger? He says, so I went to my doctor. I'm having sleep problems. I've got, a form of sleep apnea, and they want me to use a CPAP, and I don't want to do that. And I told the nurse, the nurse tells me that it's because I don't have enough oxygen. And I tell her, I go, oh, well, my buddy's opening up, let me a live Ozone Therapy Spa. They're providing ozone therapy. She goes, are you kidding me? He goes, oh, you know about that? She goes, yeah. How are they doing it? He goes, I don't know. Let me pull up the website. Pulls up the website. She goes, they have a Hocket? No way. There's now one in Orlando? You're kidding me. And he was blown away. She knew all about it. The therapy that she was suggesting to him, which would have cost him close to $20,000 over 16 months. Ooh. She says, don't listen to me. Go to your friend's place. Because it's going to cost a fraction of that, and it's going to do better for him than what they wanted to do. They just wanted to feed his body with oxygen. They didn't want to repair the cells. They didn't want to fix the problem. They wanted to Band-Aid the problem, and hopefully he would somehow miraculously be gone with the problem. But that's not how it works. You have to get to the mitochondrial level, the deepest part of the problem, and fix it, repair it. Our bodies can repair itself.
So what I'm getting at here is that dude didn't understand until a doctor told him. So maybe you need to pay like a stand-in doctor just to do a video for you and explain it. They might be able to do a little better than, oh, well, a doctor knows what he's talking about.
Well, we do have a medical director. You don't need one for what we do, but because of where our spa is located in Altamont Springs, which is Seminole County, they didn't understand what we were doing either. So they told us that we had to have a medical director. So that was not a problem. I've got a friend that's a doctor, so he's our medical director, and his wife's a nurse. But you don't need that. I mean, I'm certified. My wife is certified. We have a worker that's certified. We're certified on all these things, but it's not, it's literally going into a sauna. We have what's called a vitality spa, and it does red light therapy, which is great for your skin, weight loss, so on and so forth. But also mixed with all of our saunas is halo therapy, which releases a medical grade salt into the air. So it's great for somebody like me that has allergies, or someone that has COVID or long COVID, where it moistens your esophagus. It's phenomenal. Red light therapy is a thing. Like most people have heard of red light therapy, but we've also got IR red light therapy, which is a hot sauna. You know, that you know, you can go up to 100, whatever is comfortable for you, 140 degrees if you want. That also has halo in it, and chromotherapy, you know, with all the different lights. We have a PEMF mat, pulsed electronic magnetic field mat, has crystals in it that just, your anxiety just, I mean, if your high strung goes away. The pressotherapy suit, which is lymphatic drainage. You know what your lymphs are, Brandon?
Lymph nodes. Yeah.
Right. Well,
my throat.
yeah, right. You got lymph nodes in your throat, but you have lymphs all over your body, and it's like the garbage can of your body. They're all connected. It's like a big web. And right now, something that's very popular are lymphatic massages. A lymphatic massage is a deep tissue massage on steroids, because they have to get to the deepest part of your body in order to push that out. And once they do and they loosen it up, you will release it through the bathroom or, you know, your nose or somewhere. You'll get rid of it. So we have an actual suit that you put on, and it's got different programs. Like one's a wave program. So if you ever go into like a CVS and had the blood pressure stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that, but stronger. And so it's pushing. Yeah. It's your whole body. It's your torso, your arms, your legs, your feet. I went in there for, you usually do like 30 minutes. I fell asleep in 20, stayed in there for an hour. When I woke up and got out of the suit, and I'm a big fan of massages. I've had millions of massage over my lifetime. It felt like the best massage I've ever had in my entire life in America. So amazing. So
it doesn't feel like you can still breathe and find everything. I feel like it'd be like a armband machine. If it was that big, it'd just squish you too much.
Nah, it feels like you're getting a massage, like an amazing massage. It really does. Yeah. And it goes in waves, you know, so it'll contract your feet and then let go, and then contract your legs and then let go, and so on and so forth. No one said this to me, but I think here's the problem that I have with this. As good of a talker as I am, I come with baggage, and baggage is my career, where people know that I embellish stories for the sake of entertainment. So I'm sitting here very passionate about what we're doing with the Alive Ozone Therapy Spa. And when I'm explaining it to people that know me, not people that don't know me, people that don't know me, they understand. But people that do know me, I don't think they believe a word I say. I think that they look at me and think that I'm embellishing, like I'm selling, I don't know, like long distance phone cards or
snake oil.
Amway, snake oil. Yeah, something like, I just look at them and I see it in their eyes. So what I've started to do is I start calling them out, and I go, you don't believe me. You don't understand what I'm saying to you, do you? And just about, if not every time, they go, no, I don't, you know, because I've called them out. So I invite them in, and the ones that have come in have gotten it. Like so I have a friend who's a big person. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a very big personality here in the market. And I said, hey, look, man, I want you to come in on me. Not a problem. You know, help me out. Post some stuff on social media. I need the help. And he says, what is it? You know, so I'm explaining it to him, and I could hear it in his voice, like, you know, whatever, Jay, you know, whatever. So he's coming in this week, and I'm going to see his reaction, because I did this with a couple other people, and after they left, they then got it. They understood it. So it's one of those things where, you know, I tell people, Google it, you know, just don't take my word for it. Google it, you know, Google it and see it, see the videos, see the case results and all this kind of stuff, you know, see everything that's happened from it. You know, if you don't believe me, but I think that's what the challenge is: educating the market, and the challenge is me. Those are the two big challenges that I have with promoting Alive Ozone Therapy Spa. Right, Brandon, you probably, be honest, when I talk about it, you have a little bit of that in you, right? That you're going, oh,
yeah. Something to me sounds like a little bit of like pseudoscience, and like those girls that like keep rocks in their room because it holds powers or whatnot. And I'm like, Some of it though makes sense. I'm like, okay, I can see like injecting oxygen into you could be good in the squeeze suit. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, yeah. But I'm excited to try it out whenever we come down there for podcast
Well,
and Force 4.
Okay, good. You're a perfect example of what I'm talking about. This is good. So would you then take the time to Google what I'm saying, or just because it's coming from me, you're going, no, I'm not even going to bother with it.
I mean, I Googled it. I looked up a Hocket machine when we were talking about it the other day, and they were pretty pricey. I was like, damn, those things are big, but they look pretty cool. But, you know, I still didn't read a whole lot about how it works. Got a general idea, but I think it's more of one of the things is seeing is believing. So once you get more people in there and get some testimonials, I think other people are like, okay, all right, that's good.
Right. So the big story from our soft opening week, you know, we had a handful of people that came in, and some of those people couldn't make it, so they're coming in this week, and they'll eventually come in. We got a phone call last Friday. Towards the end of the day, we were about to leave, and we were waiting for a client to show up, and then we were done. And we got a phone call, and we were very excited, right? Because we weren't open yet, and phone's not ringing, you know. So I was like, "Whoa, somebody's calling us! This is cool." So we get a phone call, and we pick it up, and it's this woman, and she says, "Hi, am I understanding this correctly? That you are offering ozone therapy?" And we said, "Yes, that's what we do, and we open on Monday." She says, "Is there any way I could come up there now?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, sure. Come on up. How far out are you?" 40 minutes.
Damn.
Okay. Because this is a destination therapy, right? This is the closest that anyone has. What we're doing is Tampa and South Florida. So this is a destination. You will drive 40 minutes to do it. Well, you'll drive longer than that, actually. So we're like, yeah, sure. Because I was curious on why she's driving 40 minutes. What's her story? So she comes over. She made it in 40 minutes. And she goes to explain that she's well aware of ozone therapy. And she had been taking ozone therapy, or receiving, I should say, ozone therapy, but they were injecting it through her ear, I think. And she didn't like it. And she's got some pretty big issues, female issues. And so she wants to do it the most non-invasive way, which is through the Hocket sauna. I mean, that's known. That's the best. It's the easiest, the most comfortable. It's the most relaxing. And she goes, can I do it? And we're like, absolutely, you can do it. So she goes in there, she does it, and she goes, it's everything I thought it was and more. And she signed up. She's now a member. First member. Pretty cool.
Sweet. Before you're even open. Look at that. That's a good sign. And she's already driving far away. Let's start telling other people about it. That's just all you gotta do is like the word start getting out, and you get some testimonials from people, and then it should just run pretty smoothly, I would think.
Well, I of course asked her, I said, how did you find us? And she said, Google. And she goes, and then she says, and I kid you not, I'm not embellishing. Don't think that I'm making this story up. This is true. She goes, whoever's doing your marketing is brilliant. I was like, yeah. So she found us through Google, and I've never had anyone say I found the podcast through Google. I've never heard anyone or any radio shows that I've done. No one has ever told me in my entire career, I found you because I Googled whatever word.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little harder with podcast. You would have to just Google comedy podcast or something. There's millions of them. So I think it's a little harder. I mean, you can't just type in a guy show, or maybe if you typed in like a guy show women love to listen to, that'd probably pop up because it's in the description. But I don't know if someone's typing that in.
Well, the SEO stuff is better now that the website's been revamped. The last website had none of that in it. So just the G, who's done the show's website and the Alive website and the My Court Caddy website, he's great, and he does all the SEO stuff. So that obviously came into play. That in the Google stuff, when you do your Google business. But I'd never had that said to me before. I felt like that made my entire weekend. Somebody say, I found you on Google. That just made my entire weekend. Made me feel real good about it. So,
yeah, I try to do that too when people will call me out of nowhere for business, and then I say mine's with a business like this though, like they're actively searching for it. They're like sprinklers near me or ozone therapy near me. So it's kind of but yeah, I always ask them, I was like, where'd you find me from? I'm like, oh, I just typed it into Google and you popped up, had good reviews. I'm like, sweet, it's working.
Yeah, the reviews are big, and for those two peers that left reviews for us, positive reviews, we haven't gotten a negative one yet, and I'm sure it's coming, but Um, and I don't know how I'm going to handle that. They'll take it personally, but like a lot of two peers at Podcast and Pours 3, they got the ozonated magnesium butter. They left us some nice reviews and stuff. I think Josh did. And so that was pretty cool. And that's helpful because the more reviews you get, I guess it ups is that how that works on Google? It ups your gimmick.
Yeah, just basically lets Google, because when you first start a Google business listing, it gets Google's got to make sure you're not like a scam or you're a real business. So you start getting reviews in, it's like, okay, this is a credible, established business. And the more you get, the more 5 stars, the higher you rank. So it's definitely helpful. I always ask customers for a review for the most part. I haven't done it lately. I need to go back and ask them all.
So here's a question for you, and I don't know the answer to this. Is it better if you're doing an ad on Google and or Facebook/Instagram to do video or pictures or a picture and a post? What's the best way for somebody to actually read or watch it or look at it?
I know one of the most popular ones, that I've seen is the carousel photos. So basically what it is you post 5 pictures in a, in one post, and it just shows that first picture. Well, next time they go scroll through, it'll be that same ad, but it'll show them a new picture first, but they can also scroll through all of them if they want to. But that way you get more content on one single post that you're boosting, and it'll show different people, different images from that post, but it's still the one post.
So that's an option in Facebook as well. I didn't know what it meant. I'm actually going to go and change it now because you said that. You can pick carousel, even want a video. Yeah. So I got to pick carousel. So we just got pro pictures taken. Buddy of mine, Jade, who I knew way back in my going out days. He's a professional photographer now. And he just sent me over the proofs and they look amazing. So I'm going to do another run of ads with pictures, like, the pictures of everything that we offer.
Yeah.
And do a carousel. I thought that's what the answer was going to be honest with you. I thought that's what it was going to be.
I would say carousel and then video and then maybe a single post. Cause I mean, you're really, if you've got one picture on there, you're not really getting a whole lot out of it. Some people out of 10 people that scroll through, maybe only 3 likes them or 3 like it. But if you have a video, they might stick around and watch and they're like, okay, it's cool. I'm gonna watch it a little longer. I see something I like. But if you got that carousel, then you got, if you got 10 photos in the carousel, you got a lot better odds of showing someone seeing something that they like. And they're like, okay, cool. Cause normally, I mean, I'll do it. I'll like, if it's a business, like even if I don't need the business, I'll just kind of scroll through. If the pictures look cool, I'm like, oh, okay. And that kind of lets Facebook know they're interested and show them more pictures and more posts.
They're really good. Facebook is really good at making you think you know what you're doing. With these ads, like the freedom to pick and choose and target your audience, and you really feel like you're doing something. And I'm sure you are doing something. And then they give you, this is how many people clicked the link, and this is how many people, unique visitors and all this stuff. They make you feel really smart. It's actually brilliant.
You're like, I'm a fucking marketing expert.
Right. I can't believe there's actual advertising firms.
All I had to do was give Facebook $500.
Well, and that's the other thing is how much should you spend for how long of a time to be the most efficient to get your word out?
I know I haven't checked Facebook in a while, but I know on Google Ads, it'll show you like so you can set like your monthly, how much you want to spend a month, like max. And then it'll tell you how much you want to spend a day. And it'll tell you, it'll be like a little marker there. It'd be like $12. Be like, this is the average for people in your industry, what they spend. So spend a little more than this to get noticed more. But if you spend less than this per day, these other people are going to beat you out when it comes to ranking.
But is that real? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't ever listen to it either. I just do like every now and then I think I got it on like $10 a day or something like that, just to get the word out. $300 max a month. And I get like probably 15 calls out of that, which is, 2 calls and I made my money back. So.
Right. And that's the secret, right? I mean, I get 1 call, I make my money back. And that's what I tell people, when I talk about advertising with the podcast, is because it's a different medium versus traditional advertising, which is all based off of volume, and volume equals dollars, right? The more you spend, the more your message is heard. the way that radio and print or I should say radio and TV work, traditional advertising, it's the time spent listening or watching is very, very small. So the more your message is out there, the more of a chance somebody is to hear it. McDonald's is great at it. John Morgan's great at it. There are people that have mastered it, but spent millions and millions of dollars. I get it. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It definitely works. You just have to have the money to do it. Digital advertising, podcasting is direct to content to ear. So, especially the podcasts like this, where it's very inexpensive to advertise with, you get, one client. Inspect All Pest Services gets one person, in which they've gotten many from this podcast. They're even for the year. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. And then I tell them, branding is priceless. So the more that your message is out there, whether you get your ROI or not, you have to understand that somebody's hearing it. They might not need it today, but as long as they hear it for tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, it worked. You just might not ever know. But, everybody wants instant gratification, instant satisfaction. It's not going to happen, or very rarely is it going to happen. You know what I mean? So anyway, wish me luck. I'm working on explaining it. I'm not going to say it's a sell because it's not a sell as far as SELL. It's just, it is what it is. And I believe in it. And it's the best thing that came out of California was us learning about this and Rach working at a place where she administered all these things. And then we actually put the wheels in motion and opened up our own business. I mean, it's like a thing. Like our offices are awesome.
Go back to your ads real quick. What is, do you have like the targeting setup, or you're not doing like nationwide, right? I mean, you're not trying to advertise to people in Texas, just kind of in the Florida, maybe Alabama area. Do you,
no, just Central Florida. I do Seminole County, Orange County, Volusia County, Polk County, Osceola County, and might dip a little into Hillsborough County, which is Tampa.
Are you targeting any, I'm guessing men and women, but are you targeting any ages or any interest that they have, like health and wellness or something?
Yeah, I got to tell you, the interest that Facebook offers, they need to go back to the drawing board and start looking at things, because Ozone is not available. I mean, you do health and wellness and diet and, physical fit, weight gain or weight loss and, stuff like that, the basic stuff. So, yeah. But as far as age, that's the thing with ozone therapy, or actually any of these therapies, there's no target demographic age wise. There's no target age. It's for men and women, but it's anywhere. I mean, we won't take anyone under 12 years of age just to be safe, but you can put a baby in, most of these things. Like the other day, somebody came in with their baby and we put them into the IR sauna. It's completely safe. I mean, we didn't put the heat on, but we did the halo.
I don't know if you should be putting a baby in a hot box.
No. We didn't put the heat on, but the halo stuff and the chromio lights. So, those types of things you can do. The ozone stuff you can do with kids. We put, he's 15. We put him in the ozone. Actually, I think 9. We put a 9-year-old in there. I think we put him in there. So it's completely safe. I mean, it is. I mean, there was a lady that was telling us that she had her, like when her kid was like 3 or 4, had some issues, and she put him in the Hocket, and it was totally fine and safe, and everything worked out. But just for safety factor, we're doing 12 and up. 12 and up.
Yeah.
12 and up. I don't want to get into that.
Getting sued by a 4-year-old.
Yeah, not interested in that. Hey, can you put my baby in the red light therapy sauna? No, I don't want to put your baby in the red lights. No desire to do that. All right.
Yeah, but I say the babies, they might still be developing and stuff. I don't know if that would like throw them off, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's like we're not doing anything by chance. I mean, we're not guessing. Everything we're doing is by the book. I mean, whatever it says to do, we're doing. Whatever it says not to do, we're not doing. I mean, we're not. This isn't something like we don't know what we're doing, right? And that's the other thing is when you talk about therapies and saunas and stuff like that, there's this. I don't want to say gray, but middle purgatory area where I'll give you an example. I was at the poker room and I saw a guy had this thing around his waist. I was assuming he had a bad back, and he did. And I said, hey, look, have you ever tried ozone therapy? He was actually from Georgia, and he was down in Florida playing poker for some reason. So he was leaving, and he kept asking me medical questions of like, is there a doctor there? And how do they do? It was very hospital-esque because that's all he knows. And that's what he was used to dealing with his injury, not understanding that there are other ways that you can heal and release the pain. The Hocket sauna has 10 different modalities. It's not just ozone. So there's different things within the sauna that, that can help. There's a friend of mine's husband who just broke 6 ribs. They came in to try it out. And when he got out, he says, this is the first time in 7 months that I haven't been in pain. And he was just in it for 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And he was healing from, it was healing. I mean, if anybody's broken a rib before, you know how long that takes to heal. It really is a long process. And he's been in pain for 7 months. And he literally said, this is the first time in 7 months that I have not felt pain. Crazy.
Well, that's good testimony. You got to get them on video or something. When you go to the website and be like, I broke my back, and that thank you, Alive Ozone, for helping me. Get some videos up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a miracle worker, but it does perform miracles, so there are things that it does that you would be amazed at what it does. We've got stories. The woman, Nicole, at Enjoy, in California, where Rachel worked and learned all this stuff from, she was treating 2 people that had prostate cancer. And one of the driving forces for us to open a live ozone therapy spa was Rachel's dad, not only because of the heart attack, but he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And if you've been around someone that's been diagnosed with prostate cancer, it usually boils down to only a couple different options in order to treat it. Now, it's very treatable and very curable, and it's not a death sentence, but they will say there's something with a seed, and then taking it out, which takes away your manhood, and you have no desire to have sex, and you're just not a dude. And so, he's not happy right now about any of these options. So one of our driving forces opening up a live ozone therapy spa was to help treat him, is hopefully we can help. So her mentor, let's call Nicole her mentor, had told us that she has 2 patients that have prostate cancer. And within, I think, 6 weeks of doing ozone therapy, they've seen decreased cancer cells within their body just by doing ozone therapy. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Again,
I guess, we live, we use a lot of oxygen in our life. So I guess you can never get too much. Keep pumping it in there.
Yeah. What I also tell people is, like, when you work out, there's more to just lifting a weight or whatever your routine is. There's another workout that you should be doing when you are at the gym or however you exercise, and whether it's cardio or weight training or whatnot. And that's breathing, because in order for your muscles to grow, they need what? They need oxygen. Oxygen goes to your blood. Your blood then helps build the muscles, so on and so forth. It's a very simple process. So when you see people at the gym, they're like, look at all this weight I can do, and they're not breathing as they're lifting. You've probably seen that before, right? They're like,
they're about to pass out.
Yeah, their face is all blue and what. That's the opposite. That's counterproductive, counterintuitive to what you're trying to accomplish. So you're breathing as you're lifting, you're pushing, you're breathing out, and then when you go down, you breathe in, and so forth. So there's a mental workout when you're working out that you should be doing. Focus. I see people, there's dilly-dallying, and they're talking, and they're yapping, and they're on their phones, and this and this and that. If you really want to work out, you go in and you concentrate. When you're lifting, when you're doing your set, concentrate on one thing in the room, that dot on the ground. Most gym floors have all the speckles. Focus on the clock, focus on something, one thing, and mentally work out as well as physically work out. And then concentrate on your breathing. Like in all of our rooms, we have different breathing exercises. Meditation is, it's pretty much meditation. there's something to be said about that. We don't breathe properly. Take a breath. You ever heard somebody say, take a breath? You're not taking
chill out.
Chill out. Take a breath.
Air in you. So how would this be something like you were talking about working out? Like if you worked out and then went and got in this machine, would that be like help better for your muscles recover? Are you gonna get bigger muscles or really? Like would be a sore?
Absolutely. I mean, it covers when you go when you do 30 minutes in the Hocket, you are burning 600 calories just by being in there for 30 minutes.
For real. Oh man. I'm gonna just chill down there, just do some weight loss, hang out in the Hocket every day. That's a lot of calories in 30 minutes. So you're telling me in an hour it'd be 1,200 calories? Yeah,
we wouldn't leave. You're not going to be in there for an hour. We wouldn't put you in there for an hour because it's 30 minutes tops. Yeah.
Per day? Per week?
No, just one session. I mean, you can go every day if you want, but we only do 30-minute sessions.
Could you do one like in the morning and then at night?
It's not recommended, I believe.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you. But like, if somebody wants, I want to be in there and out, I would say no. It's 30 minutes. But you come back and people do it for there's a lot of people that can afford them for their houses. Like Mohamed Sanu is a big. He played for the Falcons, right? The Bengals before that. He's a big advocate of ozone therapy through the Hocket sauna. I'm sure somebody with his cash, he's got one in his house. But you need somebody to help you turn it on. It's kind of difficult to do by yourself. And I'm sure he's probably got somebody that can do it. Tony Robbins is a big fan. I'm trying to get both of them on the show. So if anybody can help me out, that'd be cool. Instead of getting like a boring doctor to sit there and talk through it, because I don't think that's going to be our cup of tea. I think it'd be, the way they talk about this stuff, man, it's like, these are words that I cannot. I don't know. When we were at that conference in Reno to get this special certification, and we're in a room full of doctors and dentists and nurses and stuff, and I'm sitting there Googling every other word, man, because they weren't necessarily talking about ozone therapy through the Hocket. It wasn't a Hocket conference. The guy, Dr. Schallenberger, who's like the godfather of ozone therapy, he's talking about just ozone therapy in general. And there's a million different ways to administer it. And most of them are doing it through injections or something like that. And boy, man, they got periodic table stuff and the different, it was like crazy. And I'm sitting there Googling, I'm like, what's that word mean? What's that word mean? What's that mean? I mean, I think I got more education in those 2 days of science and medical stuff than I've ever gotten in my entire life. Any class that I took in college or high school, I was so much smarter after that. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, that's this week. That's part of my life. So hopefully if you're a two-peer in the Central Florida area, or, I know if you're in Atlanta, there's a couple different places up there that offer ozone therapy. I think through the Hocket. I highly suggest it. I really, really do. At least go try it out and see if it works, especially if you have a specific ailment, specific something. There's 132 programs that you can do in the Hocket. Like I said, there's 10 different modalities. So it's not just ozone therapy. There's other things going on inside. So anything from cancer to fatigue to, herpes to COVID to any of that stuff. It's really, really good for COVID and long COVID. Really, really good. Really good. All right. Livin Rent Free is going on right now. You want to win a month's of free rent? Well, thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, you can. Like I say, I'm living rent free in people's minds. You should be living rent free too. It's just not fair. We're going to make it fair. Up to $2,500. But there's a few rules. So when you go and enter on thebaileyshow.com, make sure you're checking off all the boxes. Like the email that you're entering this contest with is the same email that you subscribed to the BS podcast. You didn't subscribe to the platform, but to the podcast, meaning you're getting Tuesdays and Thursdays episodes and the sub extras when we do it. If this is a FREEBAE episode, so there's more people that are not subscribers listening to this, you got to subscribe. That's kind of part of the thing. I do want to take care of you and I want to make your life better, especially for the month of December. This will end December 12th, but I need you to subscribe to the podcast, right? So
we need that $5 Give us that $5.
It's not even $5. It's $4.99.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give you a
by
penny
the way,
back.
can I say something without you go telling your buddy Chuck real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
He wants to talk about something, and we'll probably do this on Thursday. Well, we are because I got it written down. He wants to talk about something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, just funny. He wants to talk about something and he's not here.
Right. So I'll hold it till when he joins us for Thursday's released episode 267. Just remember the conversation that we had last week where I said neither you or him subscribes to your own podcast. And you guys are like, well, it's because I'm here and I listen to it. Just remember that conversation when he brings up what he wants me to bring up for him regarding his band and his song. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
When he texted me that, I was like, absolutely not a problem. I didn't think this one through there, Chucky boy. Did not think this one through. I don't think the conversation is going to go the way that he thinks it's going to go. That'll be on episode 267. I promise you.
That'll be a fun morning.
Anyway, Livin Rent Free is what's going on now. You can go to thebaileyshow.com. All you have to do is your name, your phone number, the email again that you signed up through the subscription with, and then just tell me why you should win. I'm giving away $2,500, up to $2,500. If you do win, you'll have to show me proof of your mortgage and or rent. But, we're going to do our best to pick the best story, which is going to be the person that needs it the most. With that being said, and I don't want to say their names, but I'm just going to read their stories leading up until when we get a winner.
I like these. Like sometimes they're sad, but it's like we're damn, what's that? Blue's Clues? Well, no. Yeah, we just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Let's see who it's from. And then you go.
You want to put me some production together and get me a little piece of imaging to start this out? It'll be good. All right, here's a submission for Livin Rent Free. Thanks to Inspect All Pest Services from thebaileyshow.com, trying to win themselves a month of free rent and or mortgage. What's up, Jason? What's up, Jason? Screwed that up. Super cool of you to do this. Same with Inspect All. Regardless if I don't get it or not, kudos, guys. Name is blank, 33-year-old dad of 2 awesome kids, married to my smoke show wife and loving life. There you go. We bought our house 5 years ago, right before Sacramento. There you go. Sacramento two-pier skyrocketed in pricing. So we're lucky to be able to make ends meet and not get rent gouged. The idea of not having to pay 1 month's mortgage would beyond help put us one step forward, not have to stress nearly as much on money during the holiday season. I'd use literally all of it on treating the family this year for Christmas somewhere like Disneyland. They go to Anaheim. Something that definitely would not be possible to do without really putting a hole into our savings. My wife has had a real shitty year. She lost both parents super unexpectedly this year. This would be the first holiday without them. Very sad. So the idea of getting her away from the area and taking the kids out would be dope. Hope I win. If not, happy that someone else is getting relieved. Love what you do. Love the podcast. That's a really sweet letter. It's straightforward, not lying about anything, no sicknesses or anything. Just saying, look, parents, both parents die. Was that what you said?
Yeah, that's terrible. Same year.
Yeah, well, lose both parents in 1 year. Money's tight. I mean, living paycheck to paycheck, bill to bill, to be free of rent and or mortgage for a month is huge. And he wants to do it to take his family to Disneyland and get his wife's mind off of it or something. So we read one on the other episode. We'll read one every episode. So there you go. That's kind of what I'm getting. I am getting a lot of them that are just saying, hey, dude, love the show. Can you hook it up? Appreciate you. Talk to you later. It's like,
just put their name in the hat.
Put the name in the hat, put the name in the hat. So I get it. But it's got to be pretty good. Pretty good. Brandon, you're going to have to, again, if you want to enter thebaileyshow.com, Brandon, you're going to have to explain to me, since you're a big TikTok guy, right? You're a big TikTok guy.
I don't use it anymore, but I know a good bit about it.
Okay. You're going to have to explain to me why the TikTok audience is so whiny.
What do you mean by whiny? What are they whining about? Like in
This is
general,
what
or like you got comments about it, or you just talking about the collective as a whole?
This is what I've noticed recently. Now, we are on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube. We're on them all. And I post content up there. And I guess people have a hard time understanding that the 60 seconds, what I call snaps, to hopefully get you to listen to the rest of the podcast are just a 60-second portion of probably around 2 hours. I'm assuming not everybody's understanding that.
But it's a quick podcast, the world's quickest podcast, 60 seconds.
Yeah, I'll get comments from people that I've never seen their names. They're obviously not two peers. They're not familiar with us or what we do. They take a lot of things extremely seriously. I get them on YouTube as well. So I'm assuming the pro and the con here is the pro is we're reaching people that don't normally listen, right?
Yeah, that's
maybe
good.
they'll listen, subscribe, whatever. The con is they're really sensitive. They're fucking whiny, really, really whiny. A guy had commented. Actually, this was a conversation. This was a thing. I don't know how many views that I got, but it was on the show's TikTok.
Yeah, you're talking about the serial killer conversation we had?
Yes.
About Green Inferno?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see, they're like, oh, that's not what makes people serial killers. Like, you guys are idiots.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They were. See if I can pull this up. Stop talking to me. I gotta find it.
It's not too long ago.
Yeah, no, it's just like the other day. I should have probably wrote it down.
Yeah, that was it.
It's not on there anymore. I don't know where
What's
it's
not
at.
On there? Are you on TikTok?
Comments. Yeah. So anyway, I can't find it right now. Oh, here it is. Here it is. My bad. Here it is. Okay. Anybody can have a podcast these days, huh? IDK, when will we learn how dangerous it is just to say stuff on the internet without actually having any idea what we're talking about?
I get those. I like those comments. I get those on the Clueless 2 one. Like, this sucks. This is terrible. I'm like, well, you took time out of your day to watch the whole thing and then comment on it. So you got something out of it.
But they understand, like, dude, it's an entertain. Like, that was just a small. I think what I said was nobody from the 80s became a serial killer watching Jason, but watching the Green Inferno was real. I mean, this is kind of the paraphrasing, because there really are people that eat people, cannibals, hence the whole bit that Brandon wants to do with going to North Sentinel Island. It was all wrapped around that, actually. This person really took this to heart. This wasn't the bad one. This one was the one that I really liked. Oh, and they replied, I watch horror all the time, and my friends call me Mr. Sunshine. This is the dumbest take, which I hate that word used like that, I've ever heard. So I replied, sorry to offend you with the quote unquote take, Mr. Sunshine. And then that gets them, right? Then they come back with, not offended at all. Just can't believe how wrong you are. Mean.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Usually they're a lot where they used to be, comments used to be a lot worse, just like horrible things, but there's a lot more censorship going on now on TikTok. They're scared they're going to get shut down in the US.
But then you get somebody that gets us. This guy, Drew, goofy. Ain't none goofy about Jason Mike. Part of why my BLK ass don't camp. Black ass don't camp. Oh, maybe I don't know, maybe they listen or not. So, but it was like, that's a really whiny thing to post publicly on somebody's thing that you don't even know. Like, I would never do that. What's wrong with him? Is that a real person?
You're talking about the one that the guy said he's Mr. Sunshine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got what we wanted. We talked about it, and then we threw it up for discussion, and apparently that's just how that guy felt. The good thing about it is it triggered something in him to it evoked emotion. So we got some emotion out of him.
There you go. That's my words. Evoking emotion. I just have a problem with people that are, I don't want to use the word dumb, but just kind of clueless. Like, I would never, unless I researched it and understood why they did it, I would never react without understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just how he felt, though. I mean, we hit all three in that one. What, evoke, educate, and entertain. We did all three in that clip, so it seemed to work.
So if you were to rank the social media platforms, whiniest to not whiny, as whiny, I think they're all whiny. Would you say TikTok's the whiniest?
Yeah, I'd say TikTok's the whiniest, and then you got Facebook. It's Facebook's just a weird world, man. Those videos, like the comments I see on there, they're just like, why would you post that? Like, it's not bad, it's not good. It's really, you can't even call it neutral. It's just, we probably didn't need that sentence ever said on the internet. Like, okay, like that cat looks funny, cool. No one cares. It just seems like they're all bots on Facebook. But I would say TikTok's probably the whiniest.
Without a doubt, TikTok's. But I'm learning as we're gaining a larger audience on YouTube that you people are really strong-willed. They come in there and they're blazing guns. They got to get their point across. And like YouTube to me doesn't strike me as like a social network like Facebook or Twitter or something like that. It's just like, dude, it's a video. I'm probably not going to reply to you and have a conversation with you. YouTube doesn't strike me as the conversation platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, not as much, but it is good to reply to them because then they usually reply again. You get more engagement. And it also tells the algorithm like, hey, this dude watched the video and he commented twice on it. He must like this. Let's show him more videos.
And I ain't got time for that. I can't reply to every platform. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it gets rough. Yeah, I don't really reply either. Usually the first 10 minutes I reply to people, and then every now and then I'll scroll through the comments, see if I like one, and be like, oh, look, I replied to that guy.
And then people that post something negative, hateful, malicious, ugly, they understand that you get blocked, right? It doesn't phase and goes away and you disappear. Right? People understand that, correct?
I don't know, maybe not. It's the internet. It's the wild, wild west. Everyone can be whoever they want behind a screen. They can just talk shit and they don't care about the consequences. A lot of times those people are called trolls, but
Right.
Trolls can help you out. Trolls can help your account out tremendously because you get turned into a meme or they'll reuse your content and to make fun of you, which at the same time is helping you out because they're spreading the word more.
Oh, I want that. I haven't had that yet. I want to be made fun.
Yeah.
I want to make fun of me. Oh, please.
Don't block them. Don't block them. That's the problem. You block.
Well, I don't get too many negatives. The only ones that I get are like if I go to their account, they have one follower, then I know it's a troll. And sometimes I can pick, like, I know there's some people that dislike me and I know in my past and stuff. And I kind of know, I kind of know when they're doing their thing, but so I don't even want to deal with it. And I don't want any negativity on my social media. I think, our audience and it's the radio show, the podcast and stuff, everybody's pretty cool. Now, the private two-peer Facebook group, that can get interesting sometimes, especially when somebody new joins it and says their 2 cents. Who's the guy that's so concerned about how much you guys make on this? I forget his name. There's a guy that's really, you guys are getting
Jordan. I don't think. Is it Jordan?
Yeah,
I don't think.
Jordan.
Is it
Jordan
Beresford?
Bed and spot or something?
Beresford.
Berries balls. Something. Jordan something. He's like overly concerned about you and Chuck and how much you make. Like really, really, that keeps him up at night.
Well, I appreciate he's standing up for us.
I guess I don't know what there is to stand up for or why it's any of his business. I mean, like if you have that moment in time to post something, that's what you're going to post. Has nothing to do with the show, nothing to do with anything. Nothing. You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. You have no idea.
I don't know. That's just we put ourselves out there for that. So we got to take what we can get, and we can't really get upset if there's negative comments. I mean, we're the ones posting videos and doing this. So if we didn't want negative comments, you just don't post. That's the only way you can do it.
Well, here's the thing. Don't get it twisted. I don't get upset about it. I'm just curious because I like to understand why people do the things that they do. I would not. Now, I take that back. Twitter's my spot for negativity. If I'm going after a company, and it's usually always a business, like I just had an issue with True Green. I couldn't get their attention, and when I was blue checked, thanks Elon for taking that away. When I was blue checked, you get a lot of attention, right? Companies will instantly get back to you. So I had to post about True Green. I mean, they killed my grass. The guy that was supposed to come out so we could fix it, and I was willing to work with him because I've worked with him for years. He went to the wrong address. He went to the place that we rented when we moved back. So I was like, okay, well, can you come to my house tomorrow? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be there at 11 o'clock. I was like, cool. 11 o'clock, waited around. An hour later, still not here. So I call him on a cell. He's like, oh, something came up. I can't come today. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That's just rude. So, nobody would help me. So I had to go public. But, that's like the last option. It's not my first option. It's always my last option. If I'm getting, jerked around, I'm going to be that guy and go out there and say something. And I did, and then I got a result. They reached out to me and then we got it handled and figured out, and I canceled them. I broke up with them. I fired them and they gave me my money back, no harm, no foul. And I got somebody else taking care of my grass and
just got to complain on the internet every now and then.
Every once in a while, I think you do. You got to hold people accountable and you got to complain on the internet. You might get stuff done. I wonder for people that complain often on the internet, what's the most they've ever gotten out of it? Like what kind of end result? Did you get that self-gratification? Did you get your money back? Did you get the brand new blah? Like what's the most you ever got out of complaining on the internet? Because when you complain about politics or somebody's post or something I said about a freaking horror movie, you're not getting anything back. You might get a back and forth. You might feel like you won, but you're not really winning.
You don't get none out of it. It's just, I don't think people really want to. I think they just want to have, like I said, when you're behind a screen, you can do whatever you want. And I think some people just yearn for that negative conversation, or maybe they're just having a bad day and they want to take it out on someone else. So they post it there and they're like, that made me feel good. Or maybe they post it and they sit there and realize like, well, I don't know why I did that. That didn't help me out anyway. I don't feel any better. But for some people, I'm sure it does make them feel better to complain on the internet. Long day, get home, let me bitch about something that I don't really care about. So it's not super involved in my life.
God, I couldn't imagine being a hot chick on OnlyFans and having negative comments. Like that would be, that would be the worst self-esteem booster ever. You're sitting there letting it all hang out. You got your boobies, you got your whatever. And somebody's like, look at them flapjacks. They look like I'm at Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning. Them the ugliest boobies I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if I could deal with that. That's why I'm not on. If you want to know the reason I'm not OnlyFans, that's the reason. That's the reason.
Well, those girls that had that people know they have, the real popular ones, for some reason they get a pass. I don't know why, but like the lower tier Instagram, or OnlyFans girls that, they got a couple 100,000 on Instagram, probably, every single time in their comments, it's OF detected, opinion rejected, or fatherless activities, or where's your dad at? Like poor, like I would hate to be her parents. There's a lot of negativity on most of them, but they don't care. They just keep posting it because the people that are most vocal are the haters, and the haters aren't buying your stuff, but they're still making bank off the people that are just, they might not even like the post, but they're subscribed to their OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's divide and conquer. I mean, it's polarization, just a different version. I mean, I've done it for years. If you can divide a group of people and the ones that support you will then back your play and then create a sense of drama, which then intrigues the third party to ask, what are you talking about? I mean, it works. I've done it for years. Some people buy into it. Some people don't. I think the people that don't are just have thin skin and are scared. Remember the bit that we did in Atlanta, the sucks for bucks. That was the most, that was the defining bit for that radio show that put us on the map. It's a fact. And when I pitched that idea, there were just everybody, but two people in particular that hated the idea. And they hated it because they didn't understand self-deprecation. They were in this bubble of pound the chest. I'm awesome, man. I've been doing this, and, don't say anything negative. They didn't understand it's a joke and you're making fun of yourself. And when you do that, you will get people that maybe don't get the joke that love you, that will stick up for you, vice versa. And it'll create some type of buzz. You know, they said, hey, look, we've got $5,000 to give away. $5,000. It's not a lot of money to give away on the radio, right? At one time, maybe you could do something, but instead, you know, and credit to the program director, he came to me and said, how do you want to do it? Whatever, it's up to you. Very cool. And I came up with the idea, Sucks for Bucks, where we would give away $100 a day, which to me made more sense to think that you could get $100 just by calling a radio show and telling them that somebody sucks. That to me is funny, because then the room, it would create content and the room would judge, you know, and of course,
Yeah.
And I knew that they would pick on, you know, Mike too. That was and I told him that. I go, look, get ready for it, but it's not a beat you up thing. It's, you know, it's going to be a fair conversation, but it's going to be funny. I mean, you are and have, or you've always been the punching bag. You still want to play the part, even though I'm trying to tell you not to. That's who you are. You know, that's what you're good at, and own it. That's how you made a career. That's how you made a living. And that was the deciding factor in that show of us going from 22nd place to top 5, 3, and then 1 at a certain point. But everything changed after that promotion. After that bit, everything changed. Our ratings skyrocketed.
Yeah, I don't think I was there right when you did the bit. I guess I was there shortly after, probably. But did Sucks for Bucks eventually turn into Gripe List? Is that kind of what, or did you already have Gripe List at the time?
I was doing Gripe List before I came to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, because it was kind of about the same thing, but instead of people calling in, they just message in.
Yeah. And then I would get why is everything so negative? There's supposed to be jokes. You know, there's supposed to be jokes. Gripe List was an idea. My fraternity, Sigma Chi, at the end of every meeting had a thing called a Gripe List. And it was meant to be that you would like say, hey, look, man, the toilet upstairs is always running, and you would be anonymous and the president would read it out. But me and my best friend would, because it was anonymous, we would make jokes on the Gripe List about people, and it would be read in first person from the president. So the president would be like, so Travis likes to blow dick. What? You know, because he wouldn't proofread it. He would just, and he'd have to read everything. And we're just dying laughing. So I always thought it was funny. And I always liked the name Gripe List. It just rolled off the tongue. So I turned it into a radio bit, because I always wanted to do something at the end of a radio show. Opie and Anthony back in the day, they used to, you know, obviously they had a bigger audience than I ever had, but they would do, what did you learn? And I always thought that was cool. And I tried it one time. It just didn't work. But their audience would call, because those are the days that people were listening probably to 4 hours of radio, especially them. And so they would call at the end of the show and they would say, hey, you know, in the 7 o'clock hour, you guys talked about this. I had no idea that, you know, a wiffle ball bat could go that far inside of a woman, you know, whatever the case may be. I always thought that was great, because your audience is listening and then telling you what they got from the show. That's amazing. Like, absolutely amazing that you have that kind of power over your audience, and you're that good and that compelling that they're learning something from you, right? No matter what it is. It could be something goofy. It could be something serious, but still they learn something from you that day. And now they're taking the time to call, probably stay on hold for 30 minutes just to tell you what it was. That's next level. That's pretty cool. Didn't work for me, but it was good with them, you know. I thought it was pretty neat. Are you not, change the subject here, are you not going to do Bradley's? And people are asking if you're going to do Bradley's in a Cadillac for Podcast Imports 4. Here, let me ask you. I know the answer to this. No, but what do I have to do to get you to do Bradley's in a Cadillac? Pay you, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know. I can't think of something funny.
I told you I would. I told you I'd pay you for it.
What's the $50?
Yeah, well, you've never been paid to perform before. This will be your first gig. I mean, even Metallica probably made less than $50 for their first gig. So, you start small, and if it goes over the way that I think it'll go over, Podcast and Pours 5, you'll get paid more. Podcast and Pours, by the time we're at Podcast and Pours 50, you're probably going to be making thousands of dollars. Might be making more than the band that I book.
Yeah, I just have to sing a song twice a year, 2 songs a year, make $100,000.
It's only like a 30-second song. I mean, that's 50. Like I pay you $50 for 30 seconds. Break that down. If minimum wage is, I don't know, let's say $15. I don't know what it is, but $15. And that's for an hour. It would take that person almost 4 hours to make $50. I'm willing to pay you $50 for literally 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
When you break it down like that, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'll go over with it with my agent, and we'll get back to you on that one.
I'm your agent.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm screwed then.
And I'm not even going to take 10% out.
You give me 50, like booking fees, agent fees, travel fees. Here's $10.
And there's a good chance you're not going to have to do it for Podcast and Pours 5, because if everything goes as planned, it's going to be a totally different event. Like nothing like the other ones. So you'd be free and clear on that one.
Okay.
I need a gimmick. I need something to add to Saliva. I need something to add to Distinct Grace. You know, I need something fun like we did for Podcast and Pours 3. And Bradley's in a Cadillac is perfect.
Okay. I might come up with another song. We'll see. I might do Bradley's in a Cadillac though.
Okay, here we go.
Maybe. I said maybe.
Here's the thing is people want to hear Bradley's in a Cadillac. It could become tradition. Okay. So maybe you come up with a different, are you working on a new song?
I got some lyrics wrote down. I haven't really put it together or really came up with a tempo or anything.
Boom. Brandon's back in the lab. There's going to be, is it Bradley's in a different car?
I don't know. Maybe like Bradley's house got foreclosed on and car got repoed.
Dude, you're telling a story about Bradley, and one of these days we'll actually fucking meet Bradley, you know, but you're telling a story about Bradley every Podcast and Pours. This is phenomenal.
Like a different chapter of his life.
Exactly. Chapter 1 was he was in a Cadillac. You should have thought this one through and be like, Bradley's being born. Bradley, you know, you'd have probably a lot more content before he hits 16 and gets a Cadillac.
Little baby Bradley.
Little baby Bradley. By the way, he's in a Cadillac. Bradley's in a Cadillac. Baby Bradley. Yeah. All right. So you're open-minded about this because I need to start promoting it. Podcast and Pours 4 is going to be here any minute.
Yeah. I'll see what I can come up with.
Thank you, team.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Get your tickets Saturday, December 14th. God, was this ad pop up? Do you know what a Kidult is?
A what?
Kidult. 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 Kidult.
I'm guessing an adult with like the mind of a 13-year-old.
So this is a new term to me, and it's become an toy industry buzzword. And it's adults that are purchasing toys, grown-ups that are purchasing toys. And right now, this is really interesting. Right now, toy companies are eyeing this growing market because adults who love toys, you want to take a guess on how much in sales they're generating?
What do you mean by toys? Like, when they talking about like Hot Wheels and like little Barbies, or
it's exactly what I'm talking. Exactly.
Adults buying these for them?
Yeah.
Or are you just talking about in general what they sell?
No, for them themselves.
I'm gonna guess like $1 billion.
7.
Oh man. How do they know they're buying it for them and not for their kids?
Well, it's definitely a thing. I would assume it's a Gen X thing. You know, adults spent $7 billion on toys for themselves during the 12-month period ending in June of 2024. From January to April, toys bought for adults in the U.S. beat all other age groups, including preschoolers, for the first time. From April through June, year over year sales jumped 10% for adults 18 through 34 and 9% for grownups 35 and up. While pandemic buying put adult customers on some toy companies' radar, Kidults have always been around. Hasbro was early to embrace the adult consumer long before Kidult became a buzzword. Hasbro saw a spike in sales for G.I. Joe action figures, including a pricey collector series called G.I. Joe Classified. But the toys most treasured by grown-ups, you want to guess the toys most treasured by grown-ups, what they are?
I'm gonna guess Star Wars toys.
Check. There you go. I'll give you a there you
go. Planes.
Planes?
Yeah.
No planes.
Oh, no planes. Indiana Jones?
No, that was never a big toy.
Is it a brand? Is it like Star Wars?
No, I mean, these are all, with the exception of one, which I've never. Yeah, go ahead.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels is mentioned in this story, but it's not on this list. But yeah, Hot Wheels would be one. But Hot Wheels is really, I mean, is a boomer thing. I mean, Hot Wheels have been around forever, but that's not on this specific list.
Toys. Stuffed animals.
Okay, so that's one of them. They're called Squishmallows.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name, but they're like, yeah, I know what they are. The little miniature puffy things.
You buy them in those like anime stores.
Yeah.
So, but that's not a Gen X thing. That's that's my daughter's generation. So like she's 19. So that's a B's thing. So that's a newer thing, but she would still be considered an adult. So she'd be a Kidult.
I don't think that's is that a toy though?
Stuffed animal? Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I guess.
Everybody grew up with a stuffed animal, boys included. Yeah. Don't ever say, if a guy tells you he didn't have his favorite stuffed animal, he's full of shit. Everybody had a kid had a stuffed animal.
I had like 22 of them. We used to have Webkins back in the day. There was like little pets, and you'd buy the pet, and then there'd be a code on there, and you'd go online and like register it, and you like could do activities with them. You like feed them and take them to the mall and do games with them. That was cool. I was like, damn, my pet's in the game. That's awesome. Had a monkey.
Dude, I had tons of stuffed animals as a kid. My mom threw them away, and I saw they were in the trash, and I took them out. I still have them to this day. And there was a stuffed animal called Dancy Bear that was, I think, my brother's before me. And I think Dancy Bear's still around. I lost his eye, and I used to dress him up and everything. But Dancy Bear was my guy. So I don't care, guy or girl, you had a stuffed animal. You want to guess the rest of these? They're pretty easy.
Let's see here. Roller coaster, Legos.
Legos, yes, Lego Lego Star Wars sets in particular.
Wow, really heavy on the Star Wars.
The next one is, this next one is your generation. Is all you guys.
Video games?
No.
Hacky sack. That's not my generation.
Oh, that's no.
It's like 100 years old. My generation. What do we got here? We got water guns. Oh, Nerf guns.
No.
Nerf guns, water guns aren't on there?
This is still today is one of the biggest things around. People went crazy like 10 years ago.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
Just running around searching for these things.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
No.
Oh. I think it's something like that though. I think. Everyone was trying to find them and they were getting sold out. Were they damn.
Nah, there's one guy that has like a really expensive one and he wears it around his neck.
A snake, a boa, a scarf. Oh, no. Where's it around you? Jump rope.
No. I'll give you a clue. If I were Jamaican man, I would eat it out of the bowl.
Jamaican man, eat it out of the bowl. Oh God. It wears around his neck. Oh, Pokemon cards.
Pokemon. Yes.
Yeah, Pokemon cards. Talk about Logan Paul wearing his around his neck. Okay. Yep. I got it now. Yep, Pokemon. Yeah, I got a lot of Pokemon cards. I'm waiting for them bad boys to age a little more. I'm gonna try to sell them.
Yeah, Pokemon's the thing. I never got into that.
See, the problem with me is apparently all the good ones that are rare and like worth money were the ones in the 90s. Well, I wasn't born in the 90s, so I didn't start getting into them until early 2000s. So I don't know if I got any good ones in there or not, but got a lot of baseball cards too.
I had no idea they were around in the 90s.
Yeah, I think that's when from what I understand, like the late 90s and the early 2000s are the ones you want to look for.
All right, the last one on this list would be, I want to say my son's generation. He's 23. You know, he will always buy me these. I got a bunch of them here in the studio. They're cool. They take up a lot of space, especially if you keep them in the box.
Some kind of figurine. Let's see here. They're not albums.
No.
God, gotta keep them in a box, or they take up a lot of room in a box. They're like bobbleheads, but they're Plinkos.
No, that's a game on Price is Right.
Is that, am I close? Pops.
Play that music, white boy.
Pop heads.
White boy.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
No, fuck Pops. Fuck Pops.
Fuck Pops.
Dude, I got 20 fuck Pops. You know how expensive those things are? I got a funk pop of this prostitute that I saw one time. Ooh, things going for $4,000. I got a fuck pops. What's that?
This makes a little more sense to me. These are more like collectible things in there. You're not playing with them though. You just kind of set it. I don't really see those as toys. I just see those as like figurines
But they're all toys. They're just collectible, and that's the whole point of what the Kidult thing is to the toy industry. Is, you know, like our parents weren't collectors of toys, maybe baseball cards, but there was no toy. I mean, the boomer generation played with plastic army or metal army men, and kick the can and stupid shit like that. You know, Gen X, you know, we're playing G.I. Joe, and even the older Gen X's, like my brother, who's 9 years my elder, you know, he had the 12-inch G.I. Joes. I used to suck the hair off of them in the bathtub. I don't know why. I just like to suck the hair off the heads of G.I. Joe action figures when I was a kid, which I did. You know, damn thing's probably worth $20,000 now, and I sucked all the hair off of it. I got $20,000 of G.I. Joe action figure hair in my gut. Dummy. Dumb, you know. So, and then my generation was this, you know, the little plastic swivel action grip guys. And I don't know what the price is. I didn't keep any of my G.I. Joe stuff. My mom got rid of all that stuff. I mean, I probably could have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I had everything. So I don't have a damn G.I. Joe left. And I don't know if there's any value to G.I. Joe. But now Star Wars, wow. Like, I had every Star Wars figure, every Star Wars thing. I had it all. And she sold it. I mean, I had to go back out as an adult, like 4 years ago, and buy the original guys, which sucks. You know,
you've probably been a multi-millionaire by now. If you had all those still, sell them off, auction them off.
God. Dude, I can only imagine how much those things are worth.
Yeah, I hope, like I said, I don't know what, I'm going to keep all my toys, and hopefully one day they'll be worth something. Maybe when I'm like 40. I can retire then to sell all my old toys, all my old cards, baseball cards, and I got some Yu-Gi-Oh cards and a good bit of Pokemon cards. I got to look for them.
So I know that I have them. I don't know where they're at. And I tried looking for them at one time after I found out they're worth a lot of money. I have the original run of Garbage Pail Kid cards. And those are supposed to be worth a ton of money, like Atom Bomb and Melba Toast. And I can see them and what they're in. And for years, I would see them every time I'd open this box. And then for some reason, I opened the box and they weren't in there. So I don't know if somebody stole them, sold them. I don't know what the story is, but I can't find them. And I wish I could, but I haven't gone and looked. I'd have to, this is the time to do it because all this stuff is out in the garage. I got to go. I should probably tell people that. What?
Do you have Nasty Nick?
Oh yeah, it was all part of the first run. I had them
Oh, you
all.
had that one? You had that one?
Let me see. Oh yeah. Probably
They
had
said
like
that
5.
one. They said they're estimated worth around 7,500 per car.
Yeah, probably about 5
That's
of them.
crazy.
Yeah,
You got
about
that? You
5.
said you got Atom Bomb too.
Ton of atom bombs.
About 4,000.
Yeah.
Evil Eddie, you're at 2,200. You
Yeah,
got Schizo Fran, you're at 1,000. So you'd be doing pretty good. Junkie Jeff's 1,000. You'd be
Yeah.
doing okay. Good payday right there. Might have a
Yeah.
couple $100,000 worth of cars just chilling in the garage.
Yeah. What about Melba Toast? How much is Melba Toast?
Melba Toast. Let's see here. We got JDK, Dirty Norm, Blasted Billy, Brutal Brad, Slobby Robbie, Leaky Lou. That sounds Mean Gene, Electric Bill. What did you say?
Melba Toast.
Melba Toast. I don't know. I'm not seeing it on this list here. That was the top 20, I think. Top 15.
God, so much stuff. So much stuff. Wouldn't have to work ever again. Only if we knew then, right? That's all we had to do. But that's pretty interesting. You know, that when I saw that, I was like, that's pretty crazy that the industry for toy, because, you know, like I've got, you know, kids in our family, like Rachel's sister's got young kids. And, you know, Alec is 9 and Dami's 16. Now, he's not obviously playing with toys at 16, but Alec is. And I've never heard like him talk about a specific, like, can you take me to Kitty City or whatever wherever you buy toys? I guess you buy toys online, which sucks, because that was part of the fun of buying toys as a kid, was going to the toy store and finding the toy that you want.
Yeah,
So
you get to walk through all the aisles and look at all the cool shit, and you want to take all of it, and your parents are like yelling at you, like, no, that's too expensive.
Oh yeah. That was the best thing as a kid, is going into a toy store. There was a certain smell in KB Toys or Kitty City, wherever it is that you went to go buy toys. There was that plastic, that brand new plastic smell. It was like cocaine for kids. You know, as soon as you are walking into a casino and cigarette smoke, you might not like cigarette smoke, but you like it in the casino. You might not normally like the smell of that plastic or whatever it is, but when you walked into a toy store, you got hit with it and you were like, dude, take my money. It was awesome. You know, I got $8 to spend. Who wants it? Right? What toy wants me?
We got screwed in where I live here in Noonan. We had a Kids R Us, but not a Kids R Us, like for the babies to get stuff in there. And I would always see it and get so happy. And then I remember it's not Toys R Us, but I used to always go to Target. But I remember my parents took me to Toys R Us one time, and I have no idea where it was, but I just have a vague memory of going there. But I always remember going into Target and I wanted to get like a $130 Lego set, and we're like in the middle of a recession. My parents are like, no, okay, we're about to lose everything. You're not getting a $130 Lego set. It was like, can we live in that? Can we live in your Lego set? No. All right. You want to live in a house or you want to have a Lego set? So yeah, I didn't get that Lego set, but
pretty deep for a kid, man. You know, you want to live in a house, you want to lay. It's like, relax, dude. Just say no. Like, not right now. Wait till Christmas. Maybe Santa will bring it for you. But Jesus, you don't have to dive into your mortgage. That's heavy for a kid. The worst.
No. They didn't say that to me. They just say like, we got to watch money. But looking back on it now, it's like people will talk about that too. Like, I'm over here worried about, you know, how many donuts I'm gonna eat. My parents are worried about losing the house.
Brendan, that reminds me, the worst thing as a kid was getting excited to go into a toy store only to find that the toy store only sold ripoffs of the actual toy. So like, instead of Transformers, they were like Robo Dogs or something, you know, like it would be like this cheap imitation of it. And you would buy it because you could get a toy and you wanted a toy and you had no idea how to budget money, and your damn Robo Dog would fall apart before you even got him home.
Yeah, the knockoffs are rough.
Or you'd show it to your friend who got the new Transformer, like, oh, dude, you know about Robo Dog. And they think you're like this poor dirty kid because you're playing with Robo Dog and they've got Optimus Prime. You know, so that was the worst. You'd be just so let down and everything was just off. Like, that's not Luke Skywalker. That's Lucas Byrunner. What is going on? Like, some weird Chinese name.
I remember I got a lot of they're called Bionicles, and they came like in these little plastic tubes, and basically they were like kind of knockoff Legos, but they were a lot cheaper than Lego, and they they had a good run for probably like 5 years. They had a whole TV show about them and everything. I remember always seeing the commercials. I never watched the TV show, but they were just a little too quick and easy to put together. But they were pretty cool little action figures. I wonder if those are worth anything. I don't know. Like I said, they weren't around for too long.
Dude, I'm telling you, the smart Gen Xers. Well, the kid that I was best friends with when I was younger, Kurt Brock. He died at a very young age, very sad, but he was like my toy friend, and he lived kind of up the street, walking distance through the woods. And he was my toy guy. He had the GI Joes, I had the GI Joes, and so we'd go over, and that's what I do at Kurt's house. Well, not a lot of outside stuff. I had different friends for that. His dad, who was a deli manager at the grocery store, so they're not making a lot of money. They lived in a mobile home, so they weren't rich by no stretch of the imagination. But he would buy duplicates of everything that he bought for Kurt. The Star Wars stuff. He would go out and buy an action figure. He'd buy 2. And he had put everything in a storage unit. And I would absolutely love. You know what? I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to try to hunt him down if he's still alive. I would love to know what he did with all that stuff. The last time that I saw his parents, I guess I was 18. So
wow.
30 years ago.
Yeah, those are the stories like on Storage Wars. They're like, holy shit, we found this storage unit. We're rich.
Yeah.
My dad, I gotta look at my dad's Matchbox cars. He's got them. They're still at my grandma's. He's probably got 40, 50, but they're from the 70s. So they're not like made in China or anything for the most part. So those might be worth something.
Dude, let me tell you, I got a buddy that works for Hot Wheels. He'd have me come out to be a quote unquote celebrity judge. They travel all around the world, and they have people come out with their builds, their custom builds, and they would pick a winner, and that winner gets a Hot Wheels card made of their custom build. It's really, really cool. And the stories from these people, I'm not a big car guy, and I never was a big Hot Wheels guy, but the stories are just amazing because most of them are surrounded by father and son builds, mother-daughter builds. You do it together. This is the dad's like this. I want to get this done before my kid is, out of the house. I want us to have a thing. Absolutely amazing stories. Veterans getting together and doing it. I have a friend who was an old listener of mine in Orlando, Tony Baloney. That's the name I gave him. He lost his son at a very young age, very, very sad. And he was into Hot Wheels. So he started a charity for kids that people can donate their Hot Wheels, and then he gives them to kids that can't afford the Hot Wheels. Really, really cool stuff. And he's supposed to reach out to me and come on the show and promote it and stuff. But anyway, so I learned as I was judging this, Hot Wheels, I didn't realize how expensive they are. We had the guy on the podcast when we started this thing like 4 years ago that bought the most expensive Hot Wheels in existence. It was that van with the pink surfboard, but he had gotten the first run of it when it was lopsided until they fixed it. You remember, he lives in Silver Springs, Maryland, and he's got this 20,000 square foot warehouse, and it's filled with Hot Wheels stuff.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember that. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. I don't know sometimes where people get this money from. Like, I guess they just got a real good job or inheritance or something, but they're spending it all on Hot Wheels. But we talked to those investment people, and I asked them about that. I asked them if trading cards and Hot Wheels were investment. So I guess if you're buying these things, you're not taking them out of the package or you're not tearing them up or using them. I guess it's kind of investment. Like, just keep them in there, wait another 15, 20 years and sell them else to someone else who wants to have a collection.
And that's why it's a $7 billion industry is because, there's a budget, like you were saying, for kids. You buy your kids, you're not going to buy your kids $1,000 action figure. But now, Gen Xers, we have, you might have, I'm sure you do if you're doing this, you have that expendable income where you want to relive your childhood. Most likely your parents probably threw away all your stuff, right? So you want to go out and buy that as an investment for your kid and not make the mistakes that your parents made and give them that, or you're trying to find the next the next best thing, like Pokemon or Funko Pop or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't get the toys now. You know, this is I don't understand them. And again, like I was going back to my 9-year-old nephew, Alec. I've never heard him talk about a toy. I've never heard him say to his mother, "Hey, look, can you take me to the toy store and buy me this?" Every time I see him, he's got those goggles on. And
Oh, the Oculus.
yeah, he's swinging his arms and stuff. He's playing video games. You know,
Yeah,
he's
video
got
game. Yeah, I think video games really killed the regular toys for kids. I mean, I think kids still like them, but now it's like, oh, let me get this video game. Which honestly, to a parent, I mean, at first buying an Xbox for $600, brand new one's a pretty big expense. But yeah, they might play with it a little longer. You know, you'll get a good 4 years out of it at least, and just buy them a game every now and then, $50 game, but you might get a little more enjoyment out of it. But yeah,
there's no value down the road for it because you don't even have a tangible game because you're downloading the game. Unlike the Atari 2600, you know, where those games are actually have value. You know, I saw an article about River Raid, and I remember the night my mom brought me River Raid. I was at my cousin's house, and we were trying to learn the Michael Jackson Thriller dance off of VHS tape because that was new at the time, VHS tapes. And, you know, we played Atari, Kaboom and all that stuff. Outlaw. It was great. Loved Atari. And she brings home River Raid. It was in a purple case with white line around it. I'm pretty positive. And I saw that the game's worth thousands of dollars in the case, like in the box. I was like, Jesus, I had all that stuff. I had tons of those games. I still have those games. You know, I remember I've got 2 Ataris here with a bunch of games. I never play it. I just have it. I don't know.
Oh, they're probably worth a good bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're at. So anyway, all right, let's finish this up. FREEBAE episode. So if you're a FREEBAE listener, you want to subscribe, go to thebaileyshow.com. We hope you do. We have a lot of fun on the show. Also, you can enter Livin Rent free thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, but you got to be a subscriber. So if you want me to pay your rent for the month of December so you can have some extra money for the holidays, make sure you go to thebaileyshow.com, fill out the information. Just make sure you're a subscriber because that email has got to match the email that you subscribe to the podcast, not to the platform, but to the podcast. Like in Spotify, you know, we're like, why subscribe to Spotify? Why am I getting the episodes? Well, that's Spotify. This is different than Spotify. This is the BS podcast, but subscribers can only listen to it on Spotify. A little bit confusing, I know, but it all makes sense. People figure it out all the time. So you can figure it out if everybody else can figure it out. So go to thebaileyshow.com for that. Tickets for Podcast and Pours 4, Saliva, Distinct Grace, December 14th. That's a Saturday, Elixir, Washington Street, downtown Orlando. Get your VIP, get your tickets, get your room at the Hilton, get whatever we want. Sponsor, you want to sponsor the show, the podcast, the radio show. There's a special version of the podcast that airs on WJRR in Orlando and Planet Radio in Jacksonville Saturday mornings. We can do it all. I'm looking for, I'm looking for a sponsor to sponsor all of our videos. I just think that's a really cool thing for somebody we have videos on all platforms and they live there forever. And our YouTube numbers are continuously grow. So not just that, but it's the full videos of Honey, I Raised the Kids, this FREEBAE episode on that release on Wednesday. But we also have snaps that are put out every day, including a week in review. And you would be on all of those things forever. So if that's some interest to your business or your company, please let me know. And if you are a listener, use our sponsors. If you need insurance, go to FBC. If you need a home generator, go to Alternate Power Solutions. If you need help, go to Ridgeline Counseling. If you are in jail, go to Manny Aurora. If you've got bugs, go to Inspect All. If you need insurance, go to FBC. I think I mentioned them. If you got stuff in your yard, go to JHM Land Clearing. You know, like, so we've got sponsors for everything, which is really, really cool. If you need ozone therapy, go to Live Ozone Therapy. If you need a house, call my wife. Anyway, Brandon, you got anything before we get up?
I will sell you my Pokemon and baseball card collection for $100,000. Anybody that wants it. So I'm valuing that.
100 grand. That, you know, that I've never sold anything that I have. Well, I don't know how much I have of value of anything, but I've never sold anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I've got this painting, or I've got this picture, or I've got this action figure, or I've got this baseball card. I don't even know what I have. I've got I know I've got some pricey baseball cards. I don't even know what I have. I just never gone through it. I've never sold. I've got old coins that I've never valued. I have no idea how much those coins are.
Yeah, some of the coins, like the ones that get screwed up in the mint, worth lots of money.
But I'm always afraid to take them somewhere because those places are always in like one of those
scams.
Like those shady plazas. You know, the coin place is like wedged between Angelique's Massage and More and Pink and White Nails and the Chinese restaurant. There's the coin places in between there. And I'm supposed to trust that this guy's giving me the right price for my 1932 nickel, you know, that I've heard is worth the money, right? And how does that guy have the money to buy my nickel if he's in a place like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe you just have those people value it for you. Like, we got a toy store down in downtown Noonan that's been there, like, going back to it's been there forever. So I guess people are buying and selling toys. So I need to take my collection up there, see if anything's worth anything.
Yeah, there was a guy in Atlanta that I used to deal with toys. He was pretty cool. He did some stuff with us on the show. It was what was his name? Toy Justin with Atlanta Vintage Toys. He was cool. He was really cool. He always gave me good. He was straight up. If I were a toy guy like that, toy collector and bought and sold stuff, dude, I'd put that all over my business. The most trustworthy and honest toy people. We don't lie to you. That would be my tagline. All right, look, give us a like, share, follow on all social. You get all that information on thebaileyshow.com. We're at Listen to the BS. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Please sign up for the newsletter. I'll get back to those. If you're in the Central Florida area, come out for the grand opening week of a live Ozone Therapy Spa. We'd love to see you. Love to talk to you about all the stuff that we offer. This is my second act. So if you guys can help and support that in any way possible, I'd appreciate that. I know, like, some of you think, oh, just because you have your own podcast, you can, promote what? Yeah, actually I can, but it's beneficial to you. So yes, it's my business, but it's very beneficial to you. So help out with any Google reviews. If you get any of the, if you're not in Orlando, but if you've gotten some of the ozonated magnesium butter or the stuff that we offer, you can go write a review for that. All right. Other than that, have yourself a great, safe rest of your day, week, whatever it may be. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the support. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Till next time, check out thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you like, share, follow on all socials. I leave you with these parting words.
Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get? A guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
What do we want to talk about?
Subscribe at thebaileyshow.com.
Yeah, baby.